takes a fear on everyone you meet. They come on the street, they view their lives. We are the people, they want to take us alive. Manipulation, torture, murder, genocide, mechanics of death. All through the sky, a new heaven awaits. And after half of this, we must stand strong. We must resist. They come on the street, they spill their lives. We are the people, they want to take us alive. They call us rebels, they smear our name. We are the people, we want to start it back. They come on the street, say they want to survive. We are the people, they want to take us
Good evening and welcome to Miles Culture Plate. I'm your host, Miles Kevin Miles, and it is Wednesday. Wait, I didn't say the thing. Oh my God, my memory's bad. Sorry, folks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. It's that time once again for Miles Culture Plate. I'm your host, Miles Kevin Miles, and it is Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. 2025. And yeah, we've got a packed show for you today. And I kind of have a heart out. I've got to cook tonight, cook dinner. It's my responsibility to cook dinner on this evening. So I'm gonna try to burn through as much of this as I can, as quick as I can, because yeah, I don't want to be eating. I don't want to be eating at like 10 o'clock. So anywho, we're getting going. We're getting going. Let's start with this. Let's jump right into the news. Well, we got Rusty Rivers in the chat over on Rumble. Sorry. Cheers and welcome to Rusty Rivers. Good seeing you. At least he was here. Now I'm showing all zeros. Oh, now it's a 3. Apparently Rumble's still got some issues to iron out. It literally changed as I was pointing at it. Did you see that? So cheers and welcome to Rusty Rivers. Good seeing you. Oh yeah, I got to give you get a good sound effect here. I need to download some more sound effects for my I'm gonna give you a fart. You mind if I give you a fart? Here, have a fart. All right, there we go. Let me turn that up and do it again. There you go. You get a fart, Rusty Rivers. Yeah, you're still here. Good, 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 good. Hopefully we got some other folks over there. Yeah, I went back to 0 and back to 3 again. Did you see that? Gotta love the people counter over on at Rumble Studio. Hopefully it's counting the right number of people for whatever the algorithm shows I'm supposed to have for my my creator program money. Can't afford to lose that. Anyway, so yeah, we have a ton of news, well, a ton of links and a couple big news stories that I want to get into that I'm gonna have a few rants about. But so let's get into some just some of the news you should know about, random news articles, and just kind of burn through a bunch of these topics. First off, we have over on Newsweek is reporting that Doge is pushing the Social Security Administration to cut off telephone service. And again, I don't know where this report came from. Hopefully we'll hear here in this thing. This is by Sonam Sheth and Gabe Wisnot of Newsweek. Social Security Administration considering making significant reductions to its phone services amid pressure from Doge to crack down on fraud, waste, and abuse, Washington Post reported, citing two sources familiar with internal discussions and records that the paper obtained. Doge has taken a wrecking ball approach to drastically reducing the size of the federal government. Yeah, okay. SSA leadership is weighing a proposal to eliminate telephone support for claims processing and direct deposit transactions, instead directing seniors and disabled individuals to online services and in-person field offices, one source told the Washington Post. The move could jeopardize public access to benefits for millions of elderly and disabled Americans who rely on SSA's phone service to submit claims and make transactions. Doge pushed back on the reporting via its X account, calling it inaccurate and misleading. Social Security is protecting our seniors by ensuring bank accounts aren't charged with little to no authentication. Approximately 40% of Social Security direct deposit fraud is associated with fraudsters calling SSA on the phone and changing the direct deposit bank account from the correct one to a fraudulent one, the task force said. It added that beginning on March 29th, those who want to change their banking information can, doing it online with 2FA, two-factor authentication. Call center technicians available to assist beneficiaries with the website or in person at the SSA Service Center. It's identical to fraud protections at almost all major banks where deposit changes are made either online or in person. Okay, so this is a nothing burger story. They don't want people to be able to call and just reroute your money. I'm all for this. If you need to call and change your banking information from the Social Security Department, just go do it in person. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm good with that. By the way, shout out to my lady for turning me on to that story. She and I are probably gonna have a conversation about it because I don't think she read that deeply into it. Okay, so we have back in Trump's promises made. I got a couple crazy hairs sticking up out of my headphones there. Promises made. Trump promised to cut the Department of Education, and then proceeded to nominate Linda McMahon to run the dang thing. And so let's see what's going on over there. This is from CNN. Of course, when you have 5 reporters and 4 of them are women, all to write one article, it's going to be good. Thank you, CNN, for the lovely pictures here. But yeah, you have the United States Department of Education announced Tuesday that it's cutting nearly 50% of its workforce as Trump proposed eliminating the agency altogether. Hundreds will be laid off starting Tuesday evening, last night, in addition to those who took voluntary buyouts. These actions will cut the department's workforce of about 4,100 at the start of the Trump administration in half. Do we really need 4,100 people in the Department of Education? Jesus Christ. I didn't realize it had grown that big. Today's reduction in force reflects the DOE's commitment to efficiency, accountability, and ensuring that resources are directed where they matter to students, parents, and teachers, said Linda McMahon in a statement. I appreciate the work of the dedicated public servants and their contributions to the department. McMahon said later Tuesday that the reductions are the first course of action in shutting down the agencies, which Trump vowed to do, although she acknowledged that fully eliminating the department would require an act of Congress. CNN reported last week the White House officials have prepared an executive order directing McMahon to begin the process. Asked on Fox whether the layoffs were first step to a total shutdown, McMahon said, yes, it actually is, because that was the president's mandate directed to me. Clearly is to shut down the Department of Education. She went on to describe the layoffs as eliminating what I think is bureaucratic bloat. Roughly 1,300 employees notified of their layoff will be terminated in 90 days. Those fired will begin teleworking starting Wednesday and go on to paid administrative leave starting March 21st. Adding that employees will receive severance pay based on length of service. Okay, and they're just going to go on and on and on. Talk about union stress. Okay, yeah, we're done with that. I'm not gonna hash out every angle of this. I'm not gonna read all 5 of these women's work. Let's jump a little more into Trump promises here. We got NPR. Automakers brace for higher costs as steel and aluminum tariffs kick in. Automakers still dealing with whiplash from the delay, imposition, and then partial rollback of tariffs on Canada and Mexico. And starting today, they face higher tariffs on steel and aluminum. Raw materials that the auto industry consumes in vast quantities. By the way, this is NPR. Kamila Domanowski. Trump imposed tariffs on 2 metals during his first administration, but now he's expanding them. This time, 25% tariff on steel applies without exceptions for any countries or industries that rely on the metal, and the tariff on aluminum is rising from 10 to 25%. Trump said in a proclamation that the tariffs are justified on national security grounds, though he's also said they will promote U.S. jobs and make U.S. companies more profitable. The move was celebrated by domestic steel producers. Shout out to U.S. producers and steel workers. Cheers, man. The expanded tariffs on steel and aluminum places U.S. manufacturers at a tremendous disadvantage, including those who do not import these raw materials, Coalition of American Metal Manufacturer and Users said in a statement. Coalition represents suppliers that use metals as an input, making wires, tools, machines, and parts for cars, construction, consumer goods, electronics, and other industries. Anyway, you get the point. I'm not going to hash this out because, like I said, we got a lot of news stories to get into. And, NPR is just going to break it down by trade unions and all the pain it's going to cause. But yes, I mean, ultimately, it's going to cause this manufacturing to kick in the United States. It has to. Nobody's going to pay to import all this shit. So yeah, shout out to NPR. Shout out to, so we got that going on. Hearing the Pennsylvania steel industry is about to boom again, says Rusty Rivers. Yeah. Let's get it on. But anyway, I mainly just wanted to cover that it's happening, right? We got the tariffs happening. The tariffs are happening. And Canada's not happy, by the way. They apparently they instituted a tariff on electricity. We'll see what happens. From the BBC, Maya Davies, United States set to present a 30-day ceasefire offer to Russia. Ukraine said it is ready to accept an immediate 30-day ceasefire with Russia proposed by the U.S. one day after U.S.-Ukraine talks in Saudi Arabia. Secretary of State Mark Rubio said he would present the offer to Russia and the ball is in their court. One moment, real quick. I need to do something. Do. Moscow has yet to publicly comment on the issue. Ukrainian President Zelensky said it was now up to the United States to convince Russia to agree to the positive proposal. The talks in Jeddah were the first official meeting between the two countries since the extraordinary clash between Zelensky and Trump on the 28th of February. Joint statement, the U.S. also said it would immediately start intelligence sharing and security assistance to Ukraine, which Washington had suspended after the row at the White House. Both delegations agreed to name their negotiating terms and immediately begin negotiations toward an enduring peace that provides for Ukraine's long-term security, the U.S. Ukraine statement said. Rubio told a press conference in Jeddah that he hoped Russia would accept the proposal. Ukraine was, quote, ready to stop shooting and start talking, he said, and if Russia rejected the offer, then unfortunately we know what the impediment to peace is here. Today we made an offer that the Ukrainians have accepted, which is to enter into a ceasefire and immediate negotiations. We'll take this offer now to the Russians and hope they'll say yes to peace. The ball's now in their court. In a video message, Zelensky said Russia had to show its willingness to stop the war or continue the war. It's time for full truth, he added. Kremlin has not yet publicly responded. Influential Russian lawmaker Konstantin Kosachev said that any potential agreements would be, quote, on our terms, not American. Kosachev, chairman of the Federation Council's Internal Affairs Committee, said real agreements are still being written at the front, stressing that Russian troops were advancing in Ukraine. Okay, we know there's been a war. What the fuck, BBC? Why do you have to sprinkle this in? Trump told reporters he'd speak with Putin, who would hopefully agree to their proposal. Takes two to tango, Trump said, adding that he hoped the deal would be agreed to in the next few days. We have a big meeting with Russia tomorrow, which would have been today, right? Yeah, this is 18 hours ago. Yeah, it would have been today. Some great conversations hopefully will ensue. Said he was open to inviting Zelensky back to Washington. Wear a fucking suit, man. Wear a fucking suit. I'm just kidding. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said Russia had not ruled out talks with U.S. representatives, according to Russia's state-owned news agency TASS. Asked by a reporter if Trump and Zelensky's relationship was back on track, Rubio said he hoped it was peace that was back on track. This is not Mean Girls, not some episode of some television show, he said. Today, people will die in this war. They died yesterday, and sadly, unless there's a ceasefire, they'll die tomorrow. Ukraine has offered to grant U.S. access to its rare earth mineral reserves in exchange for U.S. security guarantees. But this was derailed by the White House row. Okay, we already knew that. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. Trump and Zelensky have also agreed to finalize as soon as possible critical mineral deals, joint statement said. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah, we don't need updates on people dying in the war. We know people are dying in the war. So let's go ahead and jump from government stuff to election stuff. As a Wisconsin clerk who failed to count almost 200 ballots has been suspended in Wisconsin. By Todd Richmond of the AP. The mayor of Wisconsin's capital city said Wednesday that she had placed a municipal clerk on leave as investigators worked to determine how she failed to count almost 200 absentee ballots in the November election. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway said in a statement that the city's launched an investigation and that she needed to suspend city clerk Maribeth Witzel-Bell to maintain public confidence in the clerk's office. Added that the city will spare no expense to ensure every vote is counted heading into the swing state spring election. Man, say that 9 times fast. The State Election Commission is also investigating whether Witzel Bell violated state laws or abused her discretion. The uncounted ballots did not change the results of races, but four Madison voters whose ballots weren't counted filed claims last week for $175,000 from each city and Dane County, the first step toward initiating a lawsuit. The mayor's spokesperson, Dylan Brogan, said Witzel Bale will continue to be paid during her suspension. Yay! She makes $152,300 annually. No listing for her personal contact information could be found. And of course, they're having an April 1st general election a couple weeks from now. Highest profile races between conservative Brad Schimmel and liberal Susan Crawford for an open Supreme Court seat. Rhodes Conway said in her statement that she has appointed City Attorney Michael Haas as interim city clerk and that she expects he will ensure the election runs smoothly in Madison. Haas has previously worked as an administrator and attorney for the Elections Commission. So there you have it, folks. Shenanigans in Wisconsin. Speaking of shenanigans during elections, we have a woman in Colorado here. This is still the AP. Let's flip over to this. You have a woman in Colorado pleading guilty for initiating a cross-burning hoax. Hey, we got Still Not Banned here over in the chat on Rumble. Good seeing you. Good having you by. Cheers and welcome. Let's see. What do we got here for you? Let's do the yay. Yay. Good having you by. A woman who is part of a group that was charged with setting a cross on fire in front of a defaced campaign sign for a candidate who eventually became Colorado Springs' first black mayor, pleaded guilty on Tuesday in what authorities said was a hoax. Deanna West, one of three people indicted in the 2023 incident, pleaded guilty in Denver federal court to one count of being part of a conspiracy to set the fire and then spread false information about it in the run-up to election of Mayor Yemi Mobilade. In exchange, prosecutors said they would drop an additional charge related to setting the fire, probably arson. Prosecutors say that after staging the cross burning, a photo and video of it were sent to media and civic organizations, making it seem like an attack on Mobilade. According to the plea agreement, the conspiracy's goal was to interfere in the campaign of the opponent and create the belief that Mobilade was being discouraged from running because of his race. West was dependent on one of the other three people charged, Derek Bernard, for employment and housing and agreed to participate to curry favor with him, the document said. Lawyers for Bernard and the third person charged, Ashley Blackcloud, said in court filings that the government's evidence shows they were trying to help Mobilade win by generating outrage. They argued that the actions were kind of political theater, which they say is free speech protected by the First Amendment. Literally fire in a crowded theater. And I can't remove Still Not Banned Here's comment from the pin. I've clicked it like 5 times now. It won't go away. Let's see if I can put her other comment up there. No, yeah. Rumble Studio is just broken apparently right now. Hopefully y'all can still see me. Shit, at this rate. Because it's showing 0 viewers again, yet Still Not Banned Here and Rusty Rivers are chatting. Hey, and we got Shut Up I Can Cook. Civil War. Howdy. Cheers and welcome to Shut Up I Can Cook. And yeah, Civil War.
Hell to the no, to the no. Hell no, to the no. Hell to the no, to the no. Hell to the no.
Okay, sorry, I love that song. Anyway, so yeah, free speech protected by the First Amendment. quite literally fire in a crowded theater. Only it's not a theater; it's a fire being set to generate panic in a political theater. Both are asking for charges against their clients to be dropped because they say no one was threatened by the cross set on fire in the middle of the night, which no one other than the defendants apparently saw. But wait a minute, did they not post it? Wait, what the fuck is going on here? Photo and video of it were sent to media and civic organizations. That sounds like someone else saw it. According to the indictment, Bernard communicated with Mobile Aid before the cross burning on April 23rd and after the election win. About a week before the cross burning, Bernard told the then candidate in a Facebook message that he was, quote, mobilizing my squadron in defense and for the final push. Black Ops style, big brother. The Klan cannot be allowed to run this city again. They spoke for about 5 minutes on the telephone 3 days after the incident. Mobile Aid is denied having any knowledge, warning, or involvement in the crime. Cookie says, is this about that foreigner Habib? No, this is about a woman pleading guilty for a cross-burning hoax, right? She wanted the black guy to win the mayoral race in Colorado Springs. So she said, look at the racism, right? And then posted video or sent video of a burning cross in front of his campaign sign. A city spokesperson, Vanessa Zink, on Tuesday referred to a reporter to a video statement that Mobile Aid had posted on social media in December, shortly after the three were indicted. The mayor said he knew Bernard as a local media personality. Mobile Aid showed a letter from the U.S. Department of Justice saying it had been identified as a victim or potential victim during the investigation into the cross burning. He said he willingly provided all communications sought by investigators. So once again, the demand for white supremacy seems to be greater than supply. Once again. Cookie. I love you sometimes. Wonderful statement there. Okay, so let's move on to MSNBC. NBC News. NBC News. Moving on to NBC News. Back to talking about Trump and Doge stuff. We have USAID employees that were told to burn or shred classified documents. An organization representing foreign service workers said it was alarmed by the directive because there could be documents relevant to ongoing litigation. USAID is instructing its staff in Washington to shred and burn documents, according to an email obtained by NBC News. The move comes as President Trump's administration faces legal challenges over its attempt to shut down the federal agency. The document destruction set to take place Tuesday, according to an email from Erica Carr, the agency's acting executive secretary. It is unclear how many people received the email, which thanked workers. Look at this spin. The move comes as Trump's administration faces legal challenges. This makes it sound like Trump's trying to hide the documents. The document destruction was set to take place Tuesday, according to an email, which thanked workers for their assistance in clearing out our classified safes and personnel documents. Shred as many documents first and burn bags for when the shredder becomes available or needs a break, Carr wrote. Classified material is burned or shredded in certain scenarios, including emergency situations. But some former employees, as well as organizations representing foreign service workers, say the current directive is inappropriate. Groups challenging the administration's plan to shut down USAID filed an emergency motion Tuesday afternoon to seeking to stop the document destruction. Defendants are, as this motion is being filed, destroying documents with potential pertinence to the litigation, the motion said. Although plaintiffs do not know at the moment which records are being destroyed, the destruction of records may severely undermine the agency's ability to function. For example, destruction of records that contain information about the agency's operation may make it extraordinarily difficult, if not possible, to recreate and rebuild agency programming if the lawsuit is successful, the filing said. Later on Tuesday, parties filed a joint status report which said that the government will not destroy additional documents stored in the USAID offices in the Ronald Reagan building without affording notice to plaintiffs and an opportunity to raise the issue with the court. Again, they're making it sound like Doge is burning the documents. I mean, they shut down USAID, yet we have this Biden appointee, Erica Carr. The extent of document destruction before the government said it would pause is unclear. The government also said it did not destroy personnel records, according to the joint report. The government will reveal which documents were and were not destroyed before 4 p.m. Wednesday, the joint report said. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols, who's presiding over the case, also ordered the parties opposed to the Trump administration's actions to file their response on Thursday morning. See, this sounds like they're making it sound like Trump ordered this, but I don't know. When I first heard this story, it sounded like there were rogue agents trying to pull this off. I don't know. We'll keep reading. An administration official said that 36 people received the email and the information to be destroyed was, quote, courtesy content, information or documents given to them as a courtesy by other agencies. No documents related to litigation are classified, therefore they're not part of this directive. They're clearing out their building because it will be used by Customs and Border Patrol, the official said. These are very old documents. They're in complete compliance with Federal Records Act of 1950, the official added. Everyone involved in this process had a secret clearance or higher and was approved by the Bureau of the documents they were handling. A majority of the content is courtesy content. Most original copies are still in classified computer systems. Harold Koh, a legal advisor for the State Department during the Obama administration, said a directive to destroy classified information is not a standard procedure, noting that such steps are instead typically taken when an embassy is under attack. Outside of emergency scenarios, the priority is preservation for later consultation and continuity of sound policy, Koh said. Koh pointed to a ruling, and of course, they grabbed some random Democrat lawyer to analyze the whole behaviors here. Ruling from U.S. District Judge Amir Ali, which was upheld by the Supreme Court, in which Ali said the Trump administration could not block congressionally appropriated funds from reaching intended aid programs and agencies. He said that because of Ali's ruling, documentation showing how funding was authorized and appropriated should be preserved until funds are expended. A former USAID official said they'd never seen something like it before, but noted that the unprecedented nature of everything going on with the agency. USAID never gave their lease away and had to evacuate their headquarters before, the person said. The American Foreign Service Association, a group that represents foreign service officers, also weighed in, with a spokesperson saying it was alarmed by reports that USAID had directed the destruction of classified and sensitive documents that may be relevant to ongoing litigation regarding termination of USAID employees and grants. Okay, so now we got Oxfam. These are not the actions of someone looking for true waste, fraud, and abuse, McClanahan said. This is slash and burn mode, not leaving any evidence behind that could disprove their narrative. I mean, I don't know, man. A law firm that focuses on national security said USAID's move would not violate the Federal Records Act if, quote, everything they're destroying is digitized completely. I don't know, man. Sounds fishy to me either way. Whether it's the Trump people or whether it's rogue people, still hanging on at USAID. But that Erica Carr got to be fired, and she was a Biden appointee, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But Trump kept her on as acting secretary. So ultimately, he's responsible here, in my opinion. Speaking of things Donald Trump's responsible for, you may be wondering, as Cookie did earlier, why the stream title's about Civil War. And you may have seen my promo. Well, apparently Donald Trump decided to divide the MAGA tent, the big tent MAGA movement. And I say Donald Trump decided to. Ultimately, it's a disagreement between the Liberty Caucus part of the Republican Party, your small government conservatives, versus the sort of combined forces of the rhinos and the MAGAs. The Trump worshiping Trump can do no wrong people. Folks, I'm going to need a few minutes. Let me do this. I want to bring up, before I get into the Trump and Massey stuff, let me just go ahead and play a video of Alex Jones talking about, and we'll get into the Trump Massey stuff in a minute. We'll get into InfoWars here. So let me step away for just a minute while I bring up Alex Jones talking about an assassination plot against him. So let me go ahead and bring my camera down, and I'll bring him up as I go step away for just a minute. I'll be right back.
All right. General Flynn tried to call me this morning while I was working out, and I missed his call, but he called my producer and said the same thing, former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. He said from his high-level intel sources, there is a contract out on me, and of course it's tied to the Ukrainians. But this is just emblematic of how desperate they are. That's NATO through the Ukrainians. Don't forget that it was a NATO operative from America, CIA, recruiting for the Ukrainian war, with the 6 cell phones that Trump talked about last week and all the passports that tried to kill Trump at Mar-a-Lago. So that's their base of operations. So it's MI6 running NATO, doing this, and anything happens to me, Keir Starmer, Barack Obama, they're running their operations out of there, NATO. And we know it's not just the Ukrainians. It's looking worse and worse that they might have hired a group or something. That's what they do, to send a message to everybody with Jamie. And this is pure intimidation. This is terrorism, and it's all they got left. So this is a fight for America in the future. And like I said, I knew this weeks ago, but was asked not to say anything about it. When I mentioned a little on the air, I got contacted saying, "Hey, man, did you say that because you heard that from us?" I said, "No, I got it from other sources about people coming to town in the last 3 weeks trying to kill Elon, and that's why I was on Rogan talking about, I might get killed because of the teams were here for sure for him."
All right, so let me go ahead and just stop that right there. So yeah, apparently, hit squads roaming around Austin, Texas, looking for Elon Musk and Alex Jones. What the hell? All right. Anyway, but that's not all, because this coincides with another thing that happened. Another couple things that happened. First off, another Let's share this. InfoWars reporter Jamie White shot and killed in Austin, Texas, police and Alex Jones say. Jamie White, 36, was fatally shot when he attempted to intervene with at least 2 suspects who were breaking into his vehicle. White was treated at the scene before taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead just after midnight. Austin police previously did not identify White as the victim of the homicide when it announced the killing early Monday morning, but Alex Jones was quick to name the man killed as one of his reporters, claiming in a post on his website that White was brutally murdered. Jamie was a light, and we were blessed to experience as much as we did, InfoWars said in a statement. White, who regularly covered Trump and figures like Steve Bannon and Elon Musk, he's a one-of-a-kind man who poured his devotion into everything he did. Thank you, Jamie. And, it said he was trying to stop the burglary of his own car. And, Donald Trump, something about Alex Jones doesn't sit right with you, just a gut feeling. I mean, again, there's little I could say about it either way. I mean, there's definitely some controlled opposition vibes, but I've also been watching him long enough to know that he's gotten a lot of shit right. So I mean, I don't trust everything he says, and I do think maybe, there's an aspect to his reporting that does kind of overblow things, but at the same time, as overblown as it is, just wait 6 months. Is it still overblown? I mean, I can't say one way or another. I mean, I don't love Alex Jones, but I do have to respect that the guy's been right. And in fact, folks, what do you think? Anyone over there on Rumble? Looks like we got 7 or 8 viewers on Rumble. Oh no, we got 9, 10. No, wait, no, back to 9. 9 viewers on Rumble right now, including Gray Liquor. Cheers and welcome, brother. Oh, did I unplug? Yeah, I did. I unplugged the wrong phone so that I could follow my own stream while I was away there for a second. So yeah, cheers and welcome to Great Liquor. Let's see, what do we got here let's do the Christ is Lord drop for you.
Shut the fuck up! Say Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord.
Anyway, so yeah, thank you, Great Liquor. Cheers and welcome. And Trump has basically said that the government is viewing a lot of these things happening to Tesla and some of these threats toward Elon Musk as acts of terrorism, because quite frankly, these people are threatening this is threatening political violence. So I don't completely disagree with Trump's actions here. I think a lot of this is definitely terrorism. I shouldn't have to worry that if I buy a Tesla car, it's going to be vandalized and blown up, because of somebody's got a fringe fucking political view. But anyway, so not only did all of that happen, Chase Geiser, who's also an InfoWars reporter, has been swatted. Got swatted yesterday. Got the police sent to his house. Told to come out with blinding lights shining in his face and get on the ground. All that stuff. So Chase Geiser gets swatted. Another InfoWars reporter gets murdered by carjackers. And Alex Jones essentially gets told, hey, yeah, there's hit squads running around looking for Elon Musk. You might watch your back. So take of that what you will, but we do have to denounce the political violence, especially here on Miles Culture Plate. This shit's crazy. I've always told people, if you're upset, you're so upset about a political situation, just fucking take your grievances to the streets, not to people's faces. Anyway, what I was going to ask when I pointed out the number of people who were viewing on Rumble, what I was going to ask, what do you folks think? We got Rusty Rivers asking what I think about Alex Jones. Do you guys? How would you guys feel if I Monday for the Rumble exclusive stream, the Rumble Premium exclusive stream Monday? Oh, look at this! Rumble just lost my camera. Rumble literally just lost my camera. My camera is still active here. Let me try stopping and starting. Wow, Rumble Studio just lost my camera. Let me disable and re-enable it. OBS virtual camera, come on. Wow. I don't have a camera, folks. Thank you, Rumble. Let me try Can you hear me now? Am I live? Please, someone say something in the chat. There we go. Yeah, I just got Rumble swatted. Anyway, how would you guys feel? I know you guys are waiting for me to finish asking your opinion on this. How would you guys feel if I took Alex Jones's old documentary Endgame? When was that? 2007. 2007 documentary Alex Jones's Endgame. Blueprint for Global Enslavement. How do you folks feel about like doing a sort of like a watch party, doing sort of a watch party, but like, did Alex Jones get every bit of this right? Like, we'll examine all the little claims he's making throughout the whole movie and be like, yeah, this movie was long time ago. What was that 18 years ago? And examine how much of it he got right. What do you guys think about doing that? How long is the documentary? Let me see here. Running time. I mean, I should just look it up. 139 minutes. I mean, that's assuming I can find it, but I'm sure I can find it like on sure I can find it on what is it? BitChute. Let's try it. Do 2 hours. This is going to be a bonanza of a stream. Yeah, okay. Cookies like watch party include the movie Untouchables. No. We're talking about Alex Jones Endgame. Comparing it to Glenn Beck's could be interesting too. Oh, Beck's was a book though. Oh, well, I mean, did Glenn Beck do a documentary on what essentially was the future plans of sort of development and population control? Anyway, we really got to burn through what we have left in the show. I need to. Where was that? Get rid of the Alex Jones stuff because it wasn't next on my list here. There we go. Yeah, now. Okay, so now let's get into the the Overton window. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. And yes, I can get in game 2 hours and 20 minutes. And yeah, I plan on I think that's what we'll do Monday. Bill Dozer rated the Alex Jones show last night. One of Alex Jones' journalists got murdered not too long ago, died Monday morning. Yeah, I was just talking about that just a second ago. Anyway, so let's get into this Trump versus Thomas Massey stuff. And again, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone at not only at Tesla, but everyone who drives a Tesla and everyone at InfoWars and everyone connected to InfoWars. My prayers go out to you. I pray for your safety. I do. I pray for your safety and your property. I pray for your safety and your property. Nobody should get their car firebombed. In fact, where was that? Oh my God. There was a great Babylon Bee. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. Come on. Presentation mode. Okay, so now, of course, now Rumble is broken again. So let me bring this over here. And okay, so now I got to do this through OBS. So even though I'm wanting to hurry up, I'm going to have to window capture. Try this. Let's do, here we go. Well, I'm going to wind up plastering this over my face, but that's okay. Check this out. Check out this Babylon Bee headline. Liberals defeat Nazis by painting swastikas everywhere and torching internet immigrant businesses. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So yeah, prayers go out to everyone who's dealing with this shit. Okay, so now let's get into. Hang on, let me try Oh my God, Rumble said I needed to sign in again. Okay, so let's get into this Trump and Massey stuff. Real Donald Trump on Truth Social. Thank you to the House Freedom Caucus for delivering a big blow to the radical left Democrats and their desire to raise taxes and shut our country down. They hate America and all it stands for. That's why they allowed millions of criminals to invade our nation. Sometimes it takes great courage to do the right thing. Congressman Thomas Massey of beautiful Kentucky is an automatic no vote on just about everything, despite the fact that he has always voted for continuing resolutions in the past. No, he's literally voted no, except for one time. Yes, Cookie, Rumble Studio is a little borked right now, as you could tell by the viewer counter at the top of the screen going from 0 to 14 or whatever to back to 0. Despite the fact that he's always voted for continuing resolutions in the past, he should be primary, and I will lead the charge against him. He's just another grandstander. He's too much trouble. Reminds me of Liz Cheney. Yeah, literally nothing, anything like her. People of Kentucky won't stand for it. Just watch. I mean, the people of Kentucky vote for Massey and Rand Paul. They know what they're getting, and they like it. Thank you to the House Freedom Caucus for your important vote. We need to buy some time in order to make America greater again, greater than ever before. Unite and win. So if you don't know what this whole argument is about, Congress for the longest time, instead of just passing all of their spending in one budget package or passing individual spending bills, they pass a budget, but then that's not enough. So then they do what's called continued resolution spending. Now, mind you, Speaker Mike Johnson promised to quit doing this if he was elected to Speaker of the House. And yet, here we are. It's continued to happen about 5 more times now. And of course, the spending ball was kicked further down the road back in November. And then it was up for a vote again in January. They kicked it down the road again. Here we are in March. Plenty of time for Trump to get his ducks in a row. Plenty of time for Republicans to have decided what they're going to do about spending cuts. And look, love Thomas Massie or hate Thomas Massie, he's a principled small government conservative. But we have, and again, like I said, he's always a no vote on these continued resolutions. So when Congress wants to say, no, we're going to kick the ball down the road and just, you know, throw everything in a bill, he's like, no, break this up into 12 bills. We want to pass each little section of this or pass a big budget. The idea that we're going to essentially have a budget and then have an add-on and then another add-on, and we keep having this fight every 3 months of are we going to shut the government down? Is the government going to shut down, or are we going to fund another continued resolution to fund the government for 3 more months? And we're just going to keep this battle going every 3 months so that both sides can say, oh no, the other side's holding up the funding for government. Well, now Donald Trump wants the money for his government. But Thomas Massie's like, look, you got all these Doge cuts and you got all these Doge cuts, but you're funding this bill that basically is all the same money that Joe Biden asked for. It's all the same spending Joe Biden asked for. You want to continue that. And we'll get into that. And the MAGA people say, no, we're going to do something about that. And I'll get into that here in just a minute. Oh, God. I was going to play Thomas Massie's response, but it's 7 minutes and 59 seconds. So I'm just going to keep giving you the shortened version here. And so you had Dan Bongino on his show say, okay, well, the issue is there are multiple stages of getting a bill passed in Congress. And so you have the Senate vote on it, then you have the House vote on it, and then you have what's called reconciliation. And so the Senate version, or the Congress, the House's version of this bill, yes, has all the bloat, has all the spending, has all the crap that Joe Biden wanted put in his spending bill way back over a year ago. And Thomas Massie's like, no, I thought we were going to get rid of all this shit. Let's take it back to the table, clean it up, separate it into multiple bills, and just pass each little bit of spending separately. Let's have an up or down vote on each aspect of the budget of this chunk of money. And MAGA's response, basically Trump's response, basically the Republican, mainstream Republican response is, no, it's Trump's money. Like, no, if we do that, if we separate it into a bunch of bills, then the Democrats won't pass it all. Like, the Democrats will hold us up. And we don't have a 2/3 majority to break the filibuster. But we don't need to break the filibuster if we just go ahead and pass all the bloat now, but then we sneakily, well, I mean, not sneakily, but you do it publicly, but then when it comes time for reconciliation, then we just remove it. We only need a majority for that, not a two-thirds of the House. Well, now the bill has passed the House, but in the midst of all this, Thomas Massie said he was going to vote no, and Trump needed all the Republican votes he could get. They managed to convince a Democrat to vote yes. Cookie wants to run for Congress. Fuck yeah. Run for Congress, Cookie. I advise everyone out there, run for some kind of public office. Whatever you think you'd be good at. So I personally think Donald Trump is a little short-sighted here. I mean, granted, they're right. They quote unquote need the money. But I'm like, okay, the idea of changing legislation this dramatically as they are talking about in reconciliation, pisses me off, because the Constitution was written so that we, the people, had a say in government. And when we elect a congressperson or a senator to go to Washington and pass laws, and they cast a vote that's got X, Y, Z, everything, and then you bait and switch it during the reconciliation process to not be the bill that they voted for, to not be the same spending or whatever. Like, I just, there's something about that leaves a horrible taste in my mouth. Now, I understand to some degree that's the point of reconciliation, but reconciliations is supposed to be about the differences that the Senate and House bill have, like the differences. It reconciles the differences. But if both the House and the Senate version had all of this bloated spending in it, for one, how can we trust that it's even gonna be removed in reconciliation? I would say, if I'm Thomas Massey, I'm like, there's no guarantee it's gonna be removed. So of course I'm not voting yes. And you have all of MAGA, all the Trump cultists. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Trump, but the cultists, the blind followers, they saw the tweet you just saw, or the Truth Social post you just saw, this one, and they immediately went into attack mode on Thomas Massey. But Thomas Massey's principled. He's like, no, I'm for the Constitution. I'm for being a representative in our representative democracy. Cookie says, Mild, the Democrats do what they wanted because Republicans are cowards. Trump's now in charge. Steam ahead, Trump. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Cookie. The Republicans that I've seen commenting on this, the mainstream Republicans, the MAGAs, not the Liberty Caucus people, not the constitutional conservatives, but the Liberty Caucus Republicans, they're playing this popularity game of, one, we got the cards because we're popular. And two, well, the only way we can beat the Democrats is to play their stupid games. No. You say, okay, Democrats, if you want to filibuster, you want to vote down our spending resolutions, then shut the government down. Let them filibuster for 3 months. I don't care. If truly what you want is budget cuts, if Donald Trump truly wants to cut spending, hey, that's the best way to cut spending you could possibly have, is to just shut the whole thing down for a couple of months while Democrats stand there on their fucking soapbox. So again, yeah, Republicans are cowards because they won't do that. They won't ever do that. They will never do that. Instead, they work bipartisan with Democrats to fund whatever bloated government programs they can jam into these omnibus spending packages. Cookie wants to sleeper hold me, and now she wants to come on my show. Hey, I told you there was a link in my last program. You didn't even leave me a message. So the last time you asked to be brought on, I sent you to my voicemail box. I was going to put on your voicemail, but you didn't do it. And so Massey said something essentially about this. Their two proposals are not compatible. Number one, we had to do a continuing resolution that extends the Biden spending levels to this upcoming September because we don't have 60 Republicans in the Senate right now to break a filibuster. And then they say, we'll pass the conservative spending bills in September. And he says, because we still won't have 60 Senate Republicans then. So we have to pass the bloat now because we don't have the number of votes not to pass the bloat. So we're going to kick it down the road to when we still won't have the bloat. On the House floor after hours. What? Cookie said, mild scared to talk. I'm not leaving no voicemail. Hey, we got neurodivergent one in the chat over on Rumble. Cheers and welcome. Cheers and welcome. Here, I'll give you the clap. Cheers and welcome. You get the clap because you're always in support of that big thumb button. I love that. Enough people in Congress have faith in it anymore. Yeah, I agree. You know, it's like Congress don't have faith in themselves, so then they got to bend over backwards to appease the other side. Yeah, in my opinion, if you're not willing to face a government shutdown, then yeah, you're cowards. If you feel the need to work with Democrats, you're cowards. Elijah Schaefer had an opinion on this. I would like to confirm that there have been financial offers in the past to attack Thomas Massie here on X. Someone took the money. I got offered money as well. Obviously, we know how politics works, but the fresh attacks on Massie are a combo of grifters and cash grabbers. I get offered money all the time to support or attack certain bills, movies, politicians, etc. This is no secret. It's a passion, but still a job. Everyone who does this full time is getting paid, either swayed by independent deals or pushed by networks to keep a narrative. Well, I want you to know I'm too poor. I'm not getting that kind of money. And of course the bill passed. So yeah, they got the required Democrat votes they needed. But now are they going to get the required Senate votes they need? That's the big question. Nick Freitas had this to say: "You got the continuing resolution. Now stop wasting time attacking Thomas Massie and watch what happens. Because either he was wrong this whole time and you still got what you wanted, or he was right and he's the only guy who called it out. Either way, he's been fighting this fight a lot longer than most and has always demonstrated a willingness to stand by what he believes no matter the political pressure. Last I checked, we want more of that in Congress, not less." And then he says, "But good news, guess what every other Republican member of Congress is now super determined to do? Prove him wrong," which is exactly the mindset you want them to have, because we have a long way to go until September, and all of us can remember times when Republicans talked a good game and failed. Now they are even more incentivized to deliver, lest Massie be the only one who got it right again. He's right. What? Cookie hit the like button too. Yeah. Cookie likes Elijah, but he does not like the black folks on X. Get rid of Collins and the other Republican female senator. They both need to go yesterday. But yeah, he's right. This gives Republicans something to look forward to actually get the job done. And you know, now that it has become such a civil war in the conservative movement, hopefully they know we're watching. They know some of us are watching, and you know, when it comes time to kick this ball down the road again, assuming they get it passed, because right now it's still not law. Assuming they get it passed, Cookie says Trump is the only one right. No, he's not. Trump's not perfect. Donald Trump isn't perfect. Donald Trump makes mistakes, and I think attacking Thomas Massie is both a mistake and a success. Now, if somehow, some way, Trump and Massie were working behind the scenes to make this a bigger deal than it was, to get people to talk about continuing resolutions, I don't know. That seems a little too fourth dimensional chess for me. But yeah, I see this as a big failure. We don't need to divide the MAGA tent pole, the MAGA tent, so to speak. We don't need to be civil warring with each other. I still, as we're talking, I'm still getting notifications of MAGA people crying about how, but we need to avert a shutdown, and we need to make sure the Democrats don't filibuster because they'll use the filibuster to blame it on Trump and the media will have their back and blah, blah. If there's anyone who doesn't need to worry about the media not having his back, it should be Donald Trump. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so that's just my 2 cents. I don't mean to bring you all into the chaos of my Twitter feed. But hey, that's what's happening out there. Talking among conservatives, and that's what I'm trying to do to Cookie right now. I love all my audience here, and I respect your opinion. But yeah, to me, when we elect representatives to go to Congress, we do so with the understanding that when you vote yes or no on a bill, that means you either want it to pass or you don't. And if we're going to ask Thomas Massie to vote yes on a bill that he does not want, that his constituents do not want, then we need more guarantees than just, yo, trust me, bro. Anyway, speaking of Trump's enemies, the lovely nation of Ireland got a new resident today. And I'm sorry for what I'm about to bring onto the screen, but we'll hopefully nobody out there is in the middle of eating.
Well, hey everybody, it's me, Rosie O'Donnell, star of the Flintstones. It's Tuesday all day, as my nana would say.
Stones.
And I'm here
Really?
in Ireland.
That's what you're most proud
and
of?
It's beautiful and warm, not physically, it's actually quite cold. Moved here on January 15th, and it's been pretty wonderful, I have to say. The people are so loving and so kind, so welcoming, and I'm very grateful. I'm in the process of getting my Irish citizenship, as I have
citizenship.
Irish grandparents, and that's what's going on, and that's where I've been and what I've been doing. And although I was never someone who thought I would move to another country, that's what I decided would be the best for myself and my 12-year-old.
So I just want to say, Still Not Bansier says, glad she finally got her citizenship. No, she said she's going to be working on getting her citizenship. Adrenochrome cold turkey takes its toll. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, Singlet. That was great. I fucking love that. And Rusty River says Ireland just died inside a little bit. Look, I have to give her credit, of all the crazy leftists every election cycle who say, if so-and-so gets elected, I'm moving to Canada, or so-and-so gets elected, I'm leaving the country. Hey, I got to give Rosie props. She did it. You fucking did it. You fucking did it. Rosie O'Donnell did it. She left the fucking country. Hell yeah. This is win-win. And look, I've got Irish ancestry, I consider myself of Irish descent, and I wouldn't mind at some point visiting Ireland in my lifetime, and it kind of sucks she made this announcement so close to St. Paddy's Day, right? Who put a penis in that? I think wasn't she adopted? Wasn't she? Non-binary child. She's got 5 kids. I don't know. I can't tell. She's got 5 kids, but I don't know if they're adopted or what. I mean, they look kind of like her. Anyway, I'm not. I already know way too much about Rosie O'Donnell. I'm not going to dive down that rabbit hole anyway. And we're after 7:00 Central Time, so I got to burn through this a little bit more.
Child. And here we are. Here we are. So TikTok has gotten a little bit dark and negative for me. I don't.
Okay. So neurodivergent, when thinking about getting foreign passports, they might be good to have. I mean, yeah, if the U.S. is initiating trade wars with so many other countries, could be a good idea. Okay. Oh dear Lord, we've still got a whole lot to get into here. I'm trying to see what all I can cut out, if any. Okay, we'll just burn through this. And here's what Donald Trump had to say about Rosie O'Donnell. A little 27 seconds here.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people. Great attitude. Many in this.
This is him meeting with the Irish Prime Minister today, by the way.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people. Great attitude. Many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think you're going to lower your happppiness level.
It's true. Thank you. I like that question.
Mr. Prime Minister,
You know who she is?
Yeah. I'm joking.
You better off not knowing.
You're better off not knowing. Do you know who Rosie O'Donnell is? You're better off not knowing. Okay, let's see. Demons Wrath says she's doing the old Jewish tactic of repatriate to the homeland, except the homeland is Hibernia. Ooh, I never thought of it that way, but okay. Okay, let's bring that down. And of course, you had the Babylon Bee give their take. Now, this is a second Babylon Bee headline we're bringing up here. Ireland capsizes after the arrival of Rosie O'Donnell. I just had to poke a little fun. And okay, so yeah, which Rosie O'Donnell wasn't the only person Trump had decided to take a shot at there in the meeting with the Irish Prime Minister. Here's what he had to say about Chuck Schumer and Chuck Schumer's support of the Palestinian protesters, which, by the way, I didn't cover. Apparently we're deporting Palestinian protesters. Yeah. I mean, I got into some debates with some dudes over this about free speech and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, if you're occupying university buildings, you're disrupting university function, you're not just expressing free speech at that point. You've crossed the line into sort of riot territory. And if you're here on a green card or a student visa, you got to go. So I kind of agree with Trump on this one. Anyway, so here's Trump talking about Chuck Schumer.
And Schumer is a Palestinian as far as I'm concerned. He's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. Okay.
Now, I don't know. I don't think that's much of an insult. I mean, to me, that just reeks of, I will support Israel above everything else, right? To me, that says Israel first. That doesn't say anything about Chuck Schumer. That tells me Trump wishes he was an Israeli citizen. Anyway, so we've got Alina Habba going viral for a couple of videos, right? Trump's former personal lawyer is now a government counsel, right? Alina Habba went on the Benny Johnson show and was asked about Jeffrey Epstein. And we got a little 2-minute clip about the Epstein files that we've been promised several times would be released by now. And then, of course, also the clock has been ticking in regards to the FBI files on January 6th, the MLK, JFK, RFK assassination files. And you got Kash Patel saying he was going to release the 7 pages of the 9/11 Commission report that were redacted. We'll see. We'll see. The clock's ticking, and here's what Alina Habba had to say about the Epstein files that Pam Bondi claimed she had on her desk, didn't have on her desk, claimed the FBI was trying to get rid of them and hide them from her, and now they apparently...
just wanted to touch on when it comes to pederasts and prosecuting them and the people who are related to them or were in league with them. Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person that's ever done any time for this Epstein, for Epstein. I guess the American people, like Pam Bondi, seemed furious in her letter to Kash Patel about the FBI withholding evidence from her on Epstein. Apparently, according to her words, there's a truckload of new evidence. Any updates on that?
It's funny. I actually just asked about this and where it's at. And I just want to say, I understand and hear the American people's,
She just asked about this. One of the biggest news stories in the country was 2 weeks ago. One of the biggest news stories. It's definitely, we're going to have this release. Let's trot out all these online influencers with folders and, oh, wait, we got bait and switched. And now here we are. She just asked about this.
Ask. And sometimes they mistakenly put it on me, and that's fine. I'm part of the administration. But I will say that I personally have checked in. They are going through it. You have to be patient because when you are wanting to prosecute and actually do something with the information that you have to make sure that you save the integrity of the investigation so that we can bring these people to justice, so that we can hold grand juries, so that we can do certain things. You have to be careful. The value for the American people to know immediately would undercut, we have to do it. We have to expose it. We're going to be transparent 100%. But we also have to make sure we're not putting any children in danger.
Oh, yeah. We can't release any information because of the victims. Dude, they're redacting names. They're hiding evidence. I guarantee it. It doesn't take a fucking month to redact victims' names. It doesn't. It takes a month to make sure some of the perpetrators are left out of the documentation.
Any minors that don't want and do not deserve to be publicly identified in danger, and making sure that we put forth the information that would still assist us in getting these individuals to justice. It's such a convoluted thing, but I will tell you, transparency is 100% coming. We did get a ton of documents. Pam's letter, I think, was directed towards the SDNY, that we now know the individual in charge there had directives to go in the FBI and said, be the resistance. Do not turn over the documents. We have no tolerance for that. But I would just say to the American people, yes.
Okay, but what happened to that person?
Kash
what happened to that
those
person?
Individuals that you must
Are
cooperate.
they being prosecuted?
One resigned, who was leading the charge and not cooperating. And now we have them. And we
they
have
resigned.
to go through them. There is a very large amount of documents, I've been told. They are going through them. And I also, frankly, believe in transparency. We have to give the American people transparency. And we have.
Okay, but why was the shit show phase 1 and why isn't this phase 2 already? Like, if you're going to do it in phases, do phase 2. Why are we waiting for this whole truckload of documents to be sorted when you could just do what Elon did with the Twitter files? Hand a small batch of them over that have already been gone through, and hand a small batch over and say, "Hey, you people in charge of this, take a look at this." And have a dedicated team in the FBI and the DOJ say, okay, well, this is what we know we can do without flagging people for arrest. This is a little bit of information we can put out. Anyway, I just had, oh my God. I need to stop the show for just a second and say, folks, you're watching me on Rumble, and I've been a part of this Rumble Premium creator program so far for the month of March, since March 1st. And let me just say, right now, I'm fucking upset because we have 17 live viewers on Rumble, and I keep getting an alert for an ad read. And I click over there and I click refresh. And when I click refresh on the ad read, look, viewers go back to 0. So therefore, I'm not eligible for an ad read. Rumble, you're broken. Okay, anyway. So, of course, you got people, it's been 16 days since Pam Bondi said the Epstein client list is on my desk right now. It's becoming less and less likely that we'll see them. And Kalshi trade on anything, politics, sports, entertainment, crypto, weather, and so much more. The odds have fallen from 95 to 48% that we might see these documents. But again, that wasn't the only Alina Habba clip that went viral this week. She released another one today. Yeah, Demon's Wrath says the app on his phone is showing 18 viewers. Yeah, now we're up to 20. 21, 20 on, or no, 19, my bad. Love you folks. Love you folks. Come on in. Say hello in the chat. Cheers and welcome to everyone showing up. Of course, watch it just be the 5 of you, but every time it refreshes, it adds 5. I don't know. Right now, Rumble's so broken, it wouldn't surprise me. Ask Nick to pop in, Mild. Do some co-host stuff. No, I think I've got this. And I think I've got this almost as good as Nick ever did. Like, he didn't like fucking with his shit. He was afraid he'd fuck something up. I'll fuck with it all day to make it better. Anyway, so Alina Habba went viral for this clip today where she found this set in the White House and decided she would do videos from this set. And let's hear what she has to say about this little room she's in.
You guys, I just finished a show. Look at the room that they put me in. We're in Biden's fake Oval Office, everybody. And I've actually figured this out. I now know why. I now get it. Turn the camera around. There is a screen, teleprompter to the face. All I can say is the last administration was a disgrace. You guys, I just finished.
There we go. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, we kind of all suspected, right, that Biden had a fake room where they set up screens and all kinds of bullshit. Oh my God, they're still. Our government is literally, before Donald Trump at least, our government was literally just completely fake. The Biden administration was literally completely fake. All right, and the last story we're going to cover today. There was a House committee meeting where the chairman, Keith Self, had to introduce another member of Congress for questioning the witnesses. And that introduction, that calling upon another member, started a little bit of chaos. Folks, how often have you seen two dudes get in an argument over calling another dude mister? Yeah, still not banned here. A set within a set encapsulates how everything is pretty well. Oh, fuck. Anyway, you're about to see two guys get in an argument over calling another guy Mr.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. So the chairman just called Sarah McBride, Mr. McBride. This person identifies as transgender. And McBride responds by calling him Madam Chair. Now we're going to go back a couple seconds because I want you to see what happens next. Because a white knight comes to defend McBride.
Right.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr.
I'm
Chairman,
sorry.
could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you
standard-
repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Chairman, have you no decency?
Now, okay, I want you to think about this. Imagine you're one of these three people here, sitting here as witnesses, ready to testify about something you might find passionate. I don't even know what committee hearing this was. Here, let me bring this down real quick and see if there's a caption. Yeah, I'm not seeing any identifying about which committee this is. But can you imagine being one of these people and you're about to speak passionately about this topic that you care passionately about in front of Congress? Like this is you're front center stage to make some moves on important issues and get in your elected officials' faces about the issues you care about. And then you see this unfold before your very eyes. And now let's keep watching.
I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a.
Okay, so he said, we will continue this hearing. And then he responds, you will not continue it with me until you follow my demands. And let's see what his demands are.
But with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
The right way. The right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Okay.
I now recognize the
And now the hearing's done. Just no more committee hearing. Now, mind you, McBride's sitting there quietly. McBride shot back with misgendering right back. I mean, it's give and take. Fuck yeah, you got a colleague that calls you a name, call him a name right back. Outlast the haters. Again, you're there to do the government's business, not to wag your fingers at each other. Yeah, should he have been more professional and just fucking, hey, whatever. Your constituents want to call you Sarah, we'll call you Madam McBride or whatever, just for the committee hearings. I mean, yeah, that's give and take a little bit, but sometimes you have to do that in professional settings. I don't like it. I'll do it. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, dude. But at the same time, to then come in and white knight for somebody who's literally there taking care of the problem themselves. Who is that bald? He a trans lover? Demons Wrath say he finna chimp out. I mean, but this is the thing. This is what you got to do. You just basically got to shut it down, take your ball, and go home. And ultimately, folks, that's why my rant about Donald Trump earlier was important to me. Because you know what? If Democrats want to play games, if Speaker Johnson wants to play games with government spending, They want to act like Congressman Massey's vote is so fucking important. Have some principles. Stand up for what you said you wanted. If you want to cut government spending, boom, put a bill on the table that actually cuts government spending and say, Democrats, you vote for it or you don't. You want to filibuster it? You want to hold it up? Well, you're the one holding up. You know, how many times have we had this fight? You're the one holding up a shutdown of government. And the more you want to filibuster, the more you want to block the vote. We've got a majority. You want to filibuster though? That's literally you holding up funding the government. And when we've already cut your funding in all these ways that you're on TV crying about Elon Musk and blowing up his car dealerships and spray painting swastikas on random innocent people's Tesla cars who had nothing to do with government action, you're the ones holding things up. And we're not going to be afraid of the media spin anymore. Because ultimately, that's what this conversation is about, the media spin. If you can do it on the floor of the House like Keith Self just did, then Trump can do it. Then Congress can do it. But the money's just too good. And with that, folks, I want to thank everybody. Cookie says, thank God, no love, don't judge. That's Saturdays, Cookie. Come on back. Saturday, 6 p.m. Central. Thank you for helping promote that, Cookie. This Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, same bat time, same bat channel. Actually, you know what? It might not be. I lied. I'm probably going to be early. We're probably going to have to do an early show because, yes, I am going to a St. Patrick's celebration this weekend. And so I might have to do an early show. Keep an eye on all my social media down in the description. I will post before I go live. I will let everyone know that I'm going to be going live. And yes, we're going to do the Love Don't Judge on Saturday. We do it every Saturday right here on Miles Culture Plate. I also wanted to promote, yes, I'm going to do a watch party this Monday for Rumble Premium members only. Singlet says, Mild, do you remember Hard Case? Hard Case what? No, I don't remember Hard Case. Maybe I do. I don't know. I need a little more context. A comic. That vaguely sounds familiar. Huh. This? Damn it, I gotta go cook dinner, y'all. Like, I got people waiting to eat. I mean, luckily it's just spaghetti and meatballs, so it'll be easy to cook, but anyway. Sorry. Yeah, I'll have to look into those again. But anyway, the point I was going to make this Monday on the Rumble exclusive premium stream or Rumble premium exclusive stream, I'm going to be doing a watch party and comparison of Alex Jones's prediction in his movie Endgame, the blueprint for global enslavement from 2007. We're going to be revisiting it and doing it was Alex Jones right game. Cookie thinks she sidelined me, and Sanglant did sideline me, and he's going to drop this comic in the comments. Okay, cool. I'll see you then. Folks, for everyone else, thank you for showing up. Cheers to everyone who showed up. And another cheers for everyone who's watching this later on demand. Come on into the comments. Let me know that you stopped by. Say hello. And yeah, please keep an eye out for the Saturday show. And keep an eye for my gaming channel. I'll probably be doing some content either tomorrow or Friday. So yeah, keep an eye on the gaming channel. And I'll definitely be doing some gaming content Saturday early morning. So I try to do, a wake up and stream on my gaming channel every Saturday. And yeah, come back for the Rumble exclusive and all that good stuff. Yeah, click that thumbs up button. Click that like, share this off platform, all that good stuff. Folks, until next time, take care of yourselves. Now I'm sounding like Bill Clinton. Take care of yourselves and each other. Outlast those haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll catch you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Good night.